Welcome back to Mystery Minds, the channel where we dive into the darkest corners of true crime, uncovering stories that shock, intrigue, and leave us questioning the world around us. In today's case, we bring you a chilling and twisted tale, one that spans continents and culminates in a mysterious tragedy. This is the story of Olivia Carter and her husband, Daniel Botha, a British South African couple whose luxurious escape to Vietnam ended in their untimely deaths. A tale of betrayal, hidden pasts, and dark secrets. This case will leave you wondering, who can you trust when danger lurks behind the walls of paradise? Stay with us as we unravel the dark and tragic story of Olivia and Daniel. A dream escape to paradise turned into a nightmare when a British woman and her South African husband were found dead in their luxurious Vietnam villa. The case baffled investigators. No forced entry, no obvious suspects, and a cryptic note left behind. But as police unraveled their lives, what they discovered was more chilling than anyone could imagine: a web of lies, betrayal, and an international criminal conspiracy. What happened to Olivia Carter and Daniel Botha? And who wanted them silenced forever? Stay with us as we uncover the shocking truth behind their tragic end. Olivia Carter and Daniel Botha seemed to be living a dream life many could only envy. Olivia, a 34-year-old art dealer from London, was known for her impeccable taste and a knack for discovering hidden masterpieces. Her husband, Daniel, a 38-year-old South African businessman, had a reputation for being ambitious and driven. Together, they appeared to be the picture-perfect couple, a union of elegance and success. After years of juggling the chaos of London's bustling art scene and the high-stakes world of international business, the couple decided it was time for a change. Seeking tranquility, they relocated to a luxurious villa in Da Nang, Vietnam. Nestled amidst lush greenery and offering breathtaking views of the ocean, the villa symbolized their desire to escape the pressures of their former lives. On social media, they shared snippets of their new paradise, captivating sunsets, chic dinner parties with select guests, and serene mornings in their sprawling garden. But for all its charm, the villa harbored secrets. The couple rarely mingled with locals, opting instead for a private and secluded lifestyle. Their only regular visitor was Frank McAllister, a retired Australian expat who lived a few doors down. Frank described them as pleasant but distant, adding that he occasionally heard heated arguments echoing from their villa late at night. It was a stark contrast to the polished facade they presented to the world. Around the same time, Olivia and Daniel made some puzzling decisions. They took out a significant life insurance policy shortly after arriving in Vietnam, a move that raised eyebrows among their acquaintances back home. Moreover, friends and family noted an unsettling shift in their communication. Olivia, once known for her long, cheerful phone calls, began to cut conversations short. Daniel, too, had grown increasingly evasive, dodging questions about his business ventures. Despite these oddities, their new life continued seemingly uninterrupted until the morning their housekeeper stumbled upon a chilling scene. But even before that fateful day, signs of trouble had been mounting. Delivery workers reported packages arriving late at night, addressed to Olivia under an unfamiliar name. Visitors claimed to see shadowy figures loitering near the villa, only to vanish when approached. For now, these details seemed inconsequential, dismissed as quirks of a wealthy couple adjusting to life in a new country. Yet, as time would reveal, these were early cracks in a story far darker than anyone could have imagined. Behind the luxurious facade of their tropical retreat lay a series of choices and connections that would ultimately seal their fate. Unknown to anyone at the time, Olivia and Daniel were walking a dangerous tightrope, their lives entangled in a web of secrets that spanned continents. The villa, once a symbol of peace, was fast becoming a gilded cage where unseen threats loomed closer each day. While neighbors admired their seemingly glamorous lifestyle, investigators would later uncover their move to Vietnam wasn't just about finding serenity, it was a strategic decision to put distance between themselves and the shadows of their past. The substantial life insurance policy hinted at foresight, as if they had anticipated the possibility of danger. And the late-night arguments overheard by Frank McAllister weren't the harmless disputes of a married couple, they were desperate conversations about a storm brewing on the horizon. The housekeeper who worked for Olivia and Daniel would later recall a subtle but significant change in their demeanor. Olivia, once warm and engaging, had grown increasingly withdrawn. Daniel, on the other hand, displayed signs of paranoia, frequently checking the locks and security cameras around the property. Though they had carefully curated an image of blissful living, cracks in their story were beginning to show. Adding to the growing unease were their sporadic social connections. While they hosted occasional dinner parties, the guest list often consisted of individuals who were strangers to the local expat community. On one occasion, Frank noticed a black SUV parked outside their villa, with a man inside who never stepped out. When asked about it casually, Olivia had brushed it off as a visiting business partner of Daniel's. Despite these unsettling signs, life at the villa appeared to carry on as usual until the morning it all came to a tragic end. On a sweltering June morning, the tranquility of Olivia and Daniel's villa was shattered in the most horrifying way imaginable. Their housekeeper, who had worked for them since their arrival in Vietnam, arrived as usual to clean the property. But as she approached the house, something felt off. The front door, normally locked and secure, was ajar. Nervously, she stepped inside, calling out their names, but there was no response. The scene she discovered in the master bedroom would haunt her forever. Olivia and Daniel lay lifeless on the bed, their bodies eerily still. The air in the room was heavy with the scent of something chemical, and overturned furniture suggested there had been a struggle. Olivia's face was contorted, as if in pain, while Daniel's arm was outstretched toward the floor, where a shattered glass lay in a pool of liquid. Panicked, the housekeeper fled the villa and alerted the authorities. Within hours, the villa was swarming with local police, led by Detective Min Vu, a seasoned investigator known for his methodical approach. The initial examination revealed that both Olivia and Daniel had been poisoned. Traces of a lethal substance were found in the wine bottle on the nightstand, along with 2 half-empty glasses. The poison acted quickly, but the struggle in the room suggested they had realized too late what was happening. What baffled investigators was the lack of forced entry. The villa was equipped with state-of-the-art security, and yet nothing appeared to have been breached. This indicated that the killer was likely someone they knew and trusted enough to let into their home. A search of the room uncovered a chilling clue, a handwritten note on the bedside table scribbled in haste. It read, "It's too late. We know." The cryptic message raised more questions than it answered. What did they know? And who had silenced them before they could reveal it? Olivia's laptop and phone were missing, adding to the mystery. However, Daniel's phone was recovered, and while much of its content seemed ordinary, investigators noted a series of deleted messages from an unknown number, suggesting he had been communicating with someone he wanted to keep hidden. As the police dug deeper, the neighbors were interviewed. Frank McAllister recalled hearing raised voices from the villa 2 nights before the bodies were discovered. He also mentioned seeing an unfamiliar man leaving the property late at night. The man, dressed in dark clothing, had entered a black SUV and driven away without turning on the headlights. International media quickly picked up the story, dubbing it the Vietnam Villa murders. Speculation ran rampant, with theories ranging from a robbery gone wrong to a professional hit. For Detective View, however, the evidence pointed to something far more complex. A forensic sweep of the villa uncovered fingerprints on the wine bottle that did not match either of the victims or the housekeeper. Whoever had killed Olivia and Daniel had left a trace behind. As the investigation progressed, it became clear that the truth behind their deaths wasn't just a local mystery. It was the beginning of a trail that would lead investigators into a web of international intrigue and danger. As investigators began to piece together the lives of Olivia and Daniel, their seemingly idyllic existence started to unravel. What initially appeared to be a tragic and isolated event began revealing threads of a much darker narrative, one woven with deception, hidden alliances, and dangerous connections. A deeper dive into Olivia's past uncovered a series of troubling correspondences with Sofia Moretti, an Italian art curator with a reputation for operating in the shadows of the art world. Emails between the 2 women hinted at a partnership that had soured. Olivia had purchased several high-value art pieces from Sofia, but these weren't just rare finds, they were stolen works tied to an underground smuggling ring. In one email, Olivia had demanded a refund for a botched deal and threatened to expose Sofia if her demands weren't met. The last email Olivia sent to Sofia just weeks before her death read, "I have everything I need to bring this to light." Daniel, too, had secrets. His business dealings were far murkier than anyone had imagined. Bank records revealed a series of transactions amounting to over $2 million, wired to accounts linked to Tony DeLuca, a South African businessman with suspected ties to organized crime. DeLuca was known for laundering money and orchestrating illicit deals across continents. One of these payments occurred just days before Olivia and Daniel's abrupt relocation to Vietnam, suggesting their move was not a simple quest for peace but a calculated escape. Adding to the intrigue, sect footage from a nearby street showed a man entering their villa 2 nights before their deaths. The man was later identified as Marco Romano, an associate of both Tony DeLuca and Sofia Moretti. Marco's name was well known to law enforcement, especially in Europe, where he had a history of violent enforcement tactics for criminal networks. What Marco was doing in Vietnam was unclear, but his presence at the villa on the night of an alleged argument raised serious questions. Detective Min View also uncovered a series of mysterious payments made from Olivia's personal bank account to an account registered under the name LR. Cross-referencing these details led to the discovery of Lucia Romano, Marco's wife, who had recently flown to Vietnam on a tourist visa. This revelation deepened the suspicion that the murders were far from random acts of violence. The more the investigators probed, the clearer it became that Olivia and Daniel had stumbled into a dangerous game. Their connections to Sofia, DeLuca, and the Romanos placed them at the center of a high-stakes conspiracy. The cryptic note found in the bedroom suggested they had discovered something too explosive to ignore. What remained unanswered was whether they had tried to leverage their findings for safety, or if their knowledge had made them targets. The pieces of the puzzle were falling into place, but a larger, more sinister picture was emerging. It was now evident that their deaths were not the conclusion of their story but the beginning of a deeper, more complex unraveling of global crime. The investigation took a pivotal turn when forensic tests on the wine bottle found in Olivia and Daniel's villa revealed traces of the poison that had killed them. Surprisingly, the fingerprints on the bottle did not belong to either victim or any known associates from Vietnam. Instead, they were identified as belonging to Lucia Romano, the wife of Marco Romano, the man captured on CCTV entering the villa 2 nights before the murders. Lucia's connection to the crime was undeniable, but her role was far more significant than anyone had anticipated. When confronted with the evidence, she confessed to her involvement but claimed that the murders were not her idea. According to Lucia, she and Marco had been hired to eliminate Olivia and Daniel by none other than Sofia Moretti and Tony DeLuca. Both had feared the couple's growing knowledge of their illegal operations. Lucia explained that the plan was straightforward. Olivia and Daniel were to be silenced before they could expose the secrets they had uncovered. Sofia's involvement centered on Olivia's knowledge of the stolen art trade, while DeLuca's concern stemmed from Daniel's potential betrayal. It seemed the couple had become a liability to 2 dangerous people operating in different criminal spheres but united by a shared motive. The life insurance policy the couple had recently taken out added another layer of intrigue. Investigators discovered that Sofia Moretti had co-signed the policy as a business partner of Olivia, a detail that raised red flags. The payout from the policy, worth millions, was set to go directly to Sofia in the event of their deaths. It was a chilling detail that confirmed Sofia had planned not only to eliminate Olivia but to profit from her demise. What shocked investigators further was the methodical nature of the murders. Marco and Lucia had traveled to Vietnam under false identities, posing as tourists. They had spent weeks observing Olivia and Daniel's routines, ensuring that the crime would go off without a hitch. On the night of the murders, Lucia had delivered the poisoned wine to the villa under the guise of a gift from a mutual acquaintance. Marco, hidden nearby, ensured that no one interfered. But what neither Sofia nor DeLuca had anticipated was the cryptic note left behind by Olivia. It suggested that the couple had been aware of the threat against them and had taken steps to secure evidence of the conspiracy. A hidden flash drive found in a safe in the villa contained encrypted files implicating both Sofia and DeLuca in their respective criminal enterprises. Despite the arrest of Marco and Lucia, the case was far from closed. Tony DeLuca had vanished, leaving behind a trail of false leads. Sofia Moretti, too, had disappeared, boarding a private jet hours before Vietnamese authorities could issue a warrant for her arrest. As the pieces of the puzzle came together, it became clear that Olivia and Daniel's murders were part of a far-reaching network of crime, one that still had many secrets yet to be revealed. With Marco and Lucia Romano in custody, investigators turned their focus to dismantling the intricate web of crime that had ensnared Olivia and Daniel. The hidden flash drive found in the villa proved to be the key to unraveling the conspiracy. Once decrypted, its contents revealed an extensive trail of transactions, incriminating correspondence, and connections between Sofia Moridi, Tony DeLuca, and their global network of accomplices. The files detailed how Sofia had used her art business as a front for smuggling stolen artifacts, laundering millions through high-profile sales. Some of the pieces had even passed through Olivia's gallery in London before she realized their true origins. Olivia's decision to confront Sofia had triggered a series of threats, and when she refused to back down, Sofia turned to DeLuca for help. DeLuca's role in the network extended beyond financing and logistics. He managed a sprawling operation involving money laundering, extortion, and enforcement, often working with figures like Marco Romano to carry out dirty work. The evidence on the flash drive showed that Daniel, once a trusted associate of DeLuca, had begun documenting their activities in secret. It appeared Daniel had been trying to build leverage against DeLuca, but his plan backfired, marking him and Olivia as targets. As authorities worked to bring charges against the conspirators, the hunt for Sofia and DeLuca intensified. Sofia, known for her cunning and ability to vanish under pressure, was last seen boarding a private jet bound for Monaco. Interpol issued a red notice, but her trail quickly went cold. DeLuca, on the other hand, was more elusive. Financial records showed he had liquidated assets weeks before the murders, funneling funds into offshore accounts. His whereabouts remained a mystery, with sightings reported from Cape Town to Dubai. Meanwhile, Marco and Lucia's confessions provided chilling insights into the final days of Olivia and Daniel. Marco admitted to surveilling the couple for weeks, studying their habits and identifying vulnerabilities. Lucia revealed how she had been instructed to gain Olivia's trust by posing as an art enthusiast before delivering the poisoned wine. Both claimed they had been assured by their employers that the murders were necessary to protect bigger interests. Despite their cooperation, Marco and Lucia's sentencing did little to quell the international outrage surrounding the case. The Vietnam Villa murders had become a global symbol of the lengths to which powerful criminals would go to protect their empires. Public fascination with the case grew as more details emerged, sparking debates about the unchecked influence of underground networks operating in plain sight. As for Olivia and Daniel, their deaths left a legacy of unanswered questions. While justice seemed within reach, the escape of the masterminds ensured that the case would remain open-ended. The villa, once a symbol of serenity, became a haunting reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath their seemingly perfect lives. In the end, the Vietnam Villa murders were not just a story of betrayal and violence, but a stark warning about the dangers of secrets too dangerous to keep and enemies too powerful to face alone. Thank you for watching this episode of Mystery Minds. If you found this story as chilling as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest cases. What do you think happened to Olivia and Daniel? Could there be more to the story than we've uncovered? Share your theories in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.